Okay, welcome to the Flat Racing Guru Wednesday Royal Ascot preview. Right, yesterday wasn't great. We did score on a couple, um, but not really good enough from myself. I did find that doing the blog, it took so long to do the blog. I wanted to get it out on Monday. I mean, in hindsight, I should have left it a little bit later, and I was so tired. I did cover the races, but I didn't really get into the form lines in my data and my trainer files, my files from the sales, stuff like that I like to look at. Um, it just gives you an overall better impression of the actual horse, away from the actual ratings. I mean, the ratings are fine, but a lot of horses, when they're prepped, they'll outrun their rating when they're prepped at 100%. They'll outrun their rating, and that's why you'll see horses, finish 2 or 3 lengths clear when they're prepped. When they're not prepped, they'll, probably get beaten third or fourth. It's the same horses sort of thing. And another thing that tipsters, or punters rather, always forget is this, right? Say a horse runs on debut and it runs a great race, a lot of trainers put them away. A lot of trainers put them on the back burner. They'll not do any speed work with them. They'll run again and they could come third or fourth, and a lot of time the horse hasn't been prepped for that race, even though it won on debut, because they know, or if a horse comes second or third or fourth and showed a real good level of ability, they'll put the horse back, and next time it runs, they always look at the eye catchers, the punters. The eye catchers don't run as they think they should have, so they go off them because they've had a bet. So they've got a grudge sort of thing against that horse. But a lot of times the trainers, they'll not prep that horse for that race, and they'll save it for another day, where they get a bigger price. Always go back to the best ability that horse has shown. That's all you need to know. Go back to the best ability. Look at the circumstances, because a lot of trainers will put them on the back burner. They'll keep running them, and they won't, finish in the placings. And then when they get them prepped, they're a nice price, and they know they've got the ability to win those races against, horses that have beaten them in the previous. That's what trainers do. I mean, that's a lot of things what punters don't realise when they're looking at, visual form clues. That just goes out the window when they're thinking about that, and endure when the races come and the winners and they're surprised. In hindsight, they would have, if they had a thought of that. And that's how I think. But it's been raining again, we can see. So we've got to deal with the rain. Now Wednesday it'll be heavy, good soft heavy, but Ascot, there's going to be a lot of rain around today, so it's going to be soft. Tomorrow it'll probably dry up a bit. Friday it'll probably go good to soft. Saturday it'll be good, because Friday and Saturday is good forecast. Right, I'm going to get into the 2:30 at Ascot. Right, now what I've got is Kamari. Now I've got this Kamari on 121, right? It's done absolutely unbelievable fractions in Keeneland, right? Now the stallion does Kamari's stallion does upgrade his mares. I've already mentioned this stallion before, previous to another horse that was had this sire of Kamari's sire, and I did mention them. He upgrades them. So if you go back to the dam of Kamari, that's Wesley Ward's favourite in the race. The dam has one on the slop. Now the family, if you go back two generations, the family do go on good to soft. and that gives this Kamari a chance to go in the ground. But I think it'll probably take about 40% of the ability of Kamari. I mean, if it does act on the ground, it's such a fast horse with a fast action, right? When I was looking at its action, it could just be wheel spinning as going up this. It'll do a lot of energy. You know the way its stride pattern is. It's a lot of energy to use, and it could just die a death. So you can't have a bet on this Kamari. If it goes on the ground, it'll win, right? Put it this way. But I think, right, based on my data, I've got this final song. I've got this final song on 116 today, and that's £5 behind Kamari, but he's guaranteed to go on the ground. So final song is the tip. If he's not in the first rate, I'll be absolutely amazed, because he's the progeny, he's 100% guaranteed to go on the ground. Now, the other ones I picked out that will go on the ground, and I've looked through the pedigrees, is Divine Spirit. I've got that it's going on the ground 100%. And I put Divine Spirit in second place. I've got the Divine Spirit in second. I think it'll be a Godolphin 1-2. This is based on Kamari not handling the track 100%. Final song to win, Divine Spirit to come second for the exacta. So I've got the Godolphin 1-2. Then I've got a whole host of horses that could come in now. Tango, I've got him on 111, actually second, but there's this really soft ground is probably not going to suit him 100% based on his pedigree. He'll act in it, but I don't think he'll get that, that full 111 what he posted last time. And I do think this raffle prize, Mark Johnson's horse, Frankie Dettori's riding, he comes out third best on on the conditions, based on pedigree. Now, Liberty Beach, the John Quinn horse, that pedigree really will go on this ground. I've got him in fourth, and he's a decent price. If you go each way extra 6, 7, 8 places, I mean, you're talking 28 to 1, 30 to 1 and stuff like that. And Baldwin Shadden, that'll go on the ground. I've got him in about 6th place. What else at a decent price? Partridge could get into the money into the 8th places, and that's about 40 to 1 for the 8 places each way at Bet365. And you go on the Bet365 and go each way extra. Partridge, he could, because he'll definitely. I remember when I tipped that Partridge up on debut, and he just got beat, he got messed about. But he will definitely go on the ground based on the pedigree. Now, that's what I've got. So basically, if you want some value, you're going to go with Raffle Prize, Divine Spirit, Liberty Beach, Theory of Time. I've also got him, the other Godolphin horse. He could possibly 5th or 6th. So he's a decent price, and you go each way extra with him. So them are all, the fun bets each way extra. But the more, the more money, the bigger money will be going on final song. Now, I'm basing this on this Kamari not handling the ground 100%. He'll act on it, so that means he'll finish probably in the places, but he won't act on it 100%. If you get my drift, and that also goes for Tango. I've got Tango third best on 111, but based on his pedigree, I think he'd get away with it, but he won't, give his best running. And the horses that'll give their best running on it are the 2 Godolphin horses. Final Song and Divine Spirit. And based on, what I think they can do, and what I've heard about them, I think they'll be first and second in that race. Now, if you go onto the website, now, in the Hunt Cup, right, I did tip seniority last year. Now, seniorities went to Dubai this year. He was rushed last year. His preparation was really rushed, and so I thought he would have been a knocking bet for the Hunt Cup last year. But what's happened is the rain has come. He doesn't like soft ground, but he is 100% prepped. I mean, he could get away. If he gets away with a soft ground today, he'll win. And that's, you know, I mean, this is how highly they're rated, right? I mean, the rider, Ryan Moore, his agent, he was on the phone. I mean, probably, you know, if they had known it was going to be soft ground, they were probably basing this on it being good to firm sort of thing. But Ryan Moore's agent was on the phone, you know, asking for this ride on seniority. So I'm just going to put that there. But, you know, he might be a non-runner. He might get taken out if they don't think. But as I say, he's 100% pressed. Now, remember the Victoria Cup? I tipped this Raisin Sand. Now, he loves the soft ground and he comes really late. You know, the always worry with me with this horse is that it comes too late. But with the conditions today, you know, it's sort of that sort of conditions where they'll all be treading water at the end and something will be coming through from mid pace. And this is it's right up Raisin Sand Street. So I would have a save on that Raisin Sand, and also that Baron's horse is pretty similar to that Raisin Sand. That's Kinrin, Robert Winston. Now Robert Winston, he doesn't get the I know he got a job for Stout a while back, but Robert Winston goes under the radar all the time, and I'm telling you now, he's one of the best jockeys we've got in this country. Robert Winston, he's one of the best, the very best jockeys. I would put him up with the top 10 jockeys in this country. Robert Winston is in there, higher than that in fact, and he goes unnoticed all the time. I honestly, I can't believe how people don't back him more often, and he wins on big priced horses all the time. That's been laid out, prepped. But it's just, if you get a horse prepped and you book Robert Winston, the horse is going to win. You're not making a mistake. He's an absolutely brilliant rider, and he goes unnoticed. He's one of the absolute gems that goes unnoticed. But I've told you all now, so you'll probably not go unnoticed after I've said that. But anyway, those are the two races I've talked about. The other races, I'm not going to mention one of the races because I put a big price on one. Basically, it's what I know and what the public, what I know and what you don't know about the horse. So if you just go on the Wednesday blog, I've updated it now. You'll see that I've got a surprise tip for one of the races at a big price. Now this is a big horse. From day one, the trainers had him. He's had, you know, a race like this in mind. So forget all the form previously, what he's done, because he's just been gearing up to this race today. And the soft ground, he probably will go in the soft ground. I have no qualms about that. And he's a really, really top trainer and top jockey that's riding this horse. And he's 25 to 1. I read in the Racing Post today, how's he going to beat this horse? You know, one of the workers, the Racing Post handicappers. But I tell you how he's going to beat the horse that beat him last time. Because he's a big horse and he takes some getting fit. And he's prepped 100%. He loves the ground. The ground won't be a problem. And expect his finest performance today. Now, I have given him a big price. He is a big price. You have to go on the website to see which horse I'm talking about, and then you'll know. He's in one of the big races today. I tell you what, I'm not going to mention it because I don't want anything bad to happen, because I had this horse could make me rich today, so I'm not going to say anything else. If you want to know the horse, you'll have to go on the website, and that's me done. I only come to do, all of the other previews will be covered by other people. So I'm just going to cover the first race and the last race, the 2-year-old races. And the last race, I tipped the tip that's been tipped the last twice. If he goes on the ground, he'll win. It's as simple as that. I've looked at his progeny, his pedigree. There should be no problems with the ground based on his pedigree. And there's a couple of more that, based on the pedigree, they will go on the ground. So Temple of Heaven in the last race, the 2-year-old race, and final song in the first 2-year-old race of the day, and then I've got those in the Hunt Cup, seniority, but he doesn't like the sop, but he is prepped 100%. Take a chance with him, and we'll put 2 little saves on Raisin Sand and Kinran, and have a look at the other races, because I do fancy some of my chances today. Now, yesterday I didn't have a really clean run at the form, because I had worked 4 days on this website, right, and I was so knackered, but I did want to put it out, and then I forgot to put my grammar, my grammary through it. Can't even say the word, my grammary through the website. I totally forgot about that. So there was loads of grammar errors, and I had to put it all the way, take it all off again and put it all the way through my Grammarly, to get the spelling errors out, because I just type fast me. And then when I look at it, I think it's okay, but then when you put it through Grammarly, it's not okay. It's an absolute disaster. And my Grammarly hadn't been working for like 6 months or something. I couldn't get it to work. So, but anyway, I've got it sorted out now. So the Grammarly's working. So, all of the, you'll be to understand it a lot, because I do write it quickly, and and based on when I do the my tests, my essays for modules, I take more care and more attention to my writing. But when I sort of put tips out, I'm not really bothered about my writing, sort of thing. I mean, that's secondary to me. You just want the tip, don't you? So along the time, I don't realise there's a lot of people reading it now, and it'll look better if people can understand it. So before that, I wasn't really bothered, but now, I've changed my mind, because more people's watching. They sort of view you with your grammar, but I'm not very good at English there anyway. I'm brilliant at maths, history, mathematics, brilliant, history, geopolitics, brilliant, history, absolutely brilliant, know everything about history. I could be a history professor if I wanted to. I'm a social scientist. I was trained to be a social scientist, yeah, really. But this helps a lot, being a social scientist, when you're checking the form, because you really like to dig deep, into the progeny. So being a social scientist helps me in this sort of work, digging deep into the, the back progeny and all this, going through different, back ages, families and stuff like that. So that's it anyway. I hope you like the blog. I hope you like the tips today. Let's see if we can get some money back.